It could be pretty cool. So we're playing on Dragontown. A nice, decently sized map. It's about a mid-sized map for what we get. 3 lanes, and yeah, we all know Dragonshy. You probably all played a game on it.
Yes.
Pick some bans. So blue side, they're going to ban the Zeratul.
This is Turtle eSports.
This is Turtle eSports on the blue side. Typically, we tend to see a red side Uther ban come out now. We'll see whether Gobble Mike wants to stick to that or not. But Uther is just that very, very strong support that no one wants to let through.
I mean, the Zeratul ban, a little bit potentially questionable at the start here, since Zeratul not the hero he used to be, and in competitive
Definitely
play he's fallen off quite a chunk. So maybe a bit of a questionable ban there. We tend to be seeing. Let me think. Who it is? We like Johanna still banned banned a lot, since she is still the powerhouse tank. She just doesn't have as good wave clearance. Speaking of Johanna, we see her picked up. Other very popular first wave bans have been Abatha and Tyrande recently, mostly in the American scene that has been, but there's not been that many American tournaments. European tournaments recently.
Those are the two I was going to go with there. We normally would see the Abatha and the Tyrande, both of them very, very powerful support pieces that give you a lot of options to work around. And both of them are up right now, so we'll see if either of these teams do opt to go with those. So the Johanna, Turtle eSports, Gobble Mike going to lock in their Muradin. So both tanks been shown on either side. Not really going to give away much of the comp right now.
Now, the way the meta's been evolving, I am actually a huge advocate of double support compositions. But not like double proper supports. Double supports where one of them is Tyrande and one of them's Tassadar. And in fact, if you have the double support of Tyrande and Tassadar, it's such a powerful comp, because you don't lose much damage from having Tyrande or Tassadar, but you have both of their healing abilities, which have been buffed. You no longer have the Tyrande Starfall heroic ability coming out because you favour Shadowstalk, but that's not too bad, since while Starfall was decent, it was never the big ultimate that everyone spoke about. And
definitely not.
Oh, this is an amazing Starfall. It was always just, so there's a Starfall, and then we'd move on. So losing Starfall isn't the biggest loss for Tyrande. In fact, giving her that utility we've not only seen her picked up even more because bruisers and melee assassins have become more prevalent, but we've seen her picked up even more because of this Shadowstalk as well. And like I said, Gobble Mike Hawk, they do pick up that Tyrande. Potentially going to go with a primary support or a Tassadar on top of that. And Turtle eSports respond with Kael'thas and Karazhan. Now, Karazhan is a really good kind of counter pick to a Tyrande. Well, not even a counter pick, but kind of a deny pick, since Tyrande works very well with Karazhan.
Yes, yeah. I'm still a big fan of the Tyrande Karazhan combo there for the double support. And I agree with you. I think double support does seem to be the way to go at the moment. There's a couple of different compositions that I've seen running around with the double support. You can build it into a full melee squad, which can be your multi-warriors there getting up and getting bruising, or you can build multiple range supports to sit back and just rely on the one tank.
I feel like if you're going to go with the melee kind of bruisey thing, then maps where you want to hold objectives like Infernal Shrines, even potentially Dragonshire, but where like Infernal Shrines and Sky Temple are the two main ones that always work well, because you have all these high health pool heroes with double supports, multiple warriors or multiple high health heroes, and you just never get pushed out of that. You're never going to get out-poked.
Yeah, you get your 5-man brawls in there, whereas you're not really going to have a 5-man brawl on Dragonshire. It's going to be a 2-on-2 in each of the top and bottom lanes, maybe a 3-on-3 if somebody's roamed up.
But 2-on-2s are really where double support can come into play a lot.
That's true. Get the supports, but then you won't have support in one of the other ones. I don't know. Maybe, yeah. I can see what you mean, yeah. Especially in a 3-on-3, the double support can work out quite well. So we're going to see the Kerrigan picked up here for Gobble Mike. So starting to round out their composition here. Kerrigan, in a very, very strong place right now. And a Reno pickup as well. What do you feel about that?
Just a moment. I'm dealing with some internal affairs. Is almost.
That's all right.
Yeah, I think Kerrigan, like you say, because she's very strong these days. As I was about to say, as is Sonya. And we see her picked up immediately. Kerrigan's pretty strong, and she works very well with Tyrande, and even with the Malfurion, because of the stun, layer upon layer of stun she can put, and then the Reyna just to back up, to kind of counter that Johanna, as well as be particularly effective versus other ranged assassins like Kael'thas, who rely on killing somebody outright, and Reyna, notoriously hard to kill with his Adrenaline Rush.
And a Falstad pickup as their final pickup for Turtle eSports. Now, I've not seen Falstad in quite a while.
Yeah, he's been getting much more popular these days because of people like Tyrande and Tassadar. Their buffs coming up, meaning that teams can pick up the additional support, and just that extra little bit powers out Falstad's ability to survive, and means that he can do a lot of damage. Because I think he has one of the highest DPS outputs in a short period of time, whilst he has the kind of the lightning rod conduit thing out. I forgot what it's called now, but whilst that's activated, he does an insane amount of damage.
Fair enough.
Extra bit of survivability.
I guess I can also see a lot of use for his manoeuvrability here, being able to swoop between the lanes where he needs to, gives often the chance to turn the tide and gang up 3 versus 2 instead of 2v2 and such things in a very short space of time. So you will need to be aware of Falstad being able to do that.
Yeah, and we have a little issue where nobody can get in touch with the captain of Global. Well, I mean, clearly the draft is working, but can't accept. So it's Glorious. So I'm going to see if I can set up this lobby for everybody now as well
myself. Okay, so.
What do you think of the draft? Who do you think's going to win? Who do you think has the... Well, just whilst we're getting this little bit of a technical thing, sorry about the slow kind of disjointed start to everyone. We are going through this, and we're going to get you a game as soon as possible.
So the Falstad was something unexpected, and I'm definitely intrigued to see how that's going to play out for Turtle eSports here. The single support Karazim into the double support Tyrande Rhaegar. I tend to favour the double support comp just because they're going to be able to sustain themselves a hell of a lot more. I mean, Rhaegar isn't the top of my support list right now. He brings a big heal and the chain heals with the slow, so he's got a lot of kit, but to me there's a lot better options there. And I mean, as we were saying, that Tassadar was open, that could have been with the Tyrande. Malfurion can also be put to good use there as well. So both teams have gaps that I would like to see each other's exploit there. But I think, knowing nothing about these teams and these players, I'm going to go with Gobble Mike to take this one.
Okay. Yeah, I think I'm kind of always going to favour the Tyrande picks, especially with a Kerrigan to follow that up. But then again, that Sonya Falstad, that's going to be quite scary. I feel like because they have that double support, and Tyrande with the double support kind of Rhaegar competition, that's all very prevalent at this point, and if played well, can just do so much work. Because taking the Tyrande means you don't lose out on that much damage. On top of that, she has the amplify damage, which is just absurd. That adds damage, especially if she's used to roam and gank a lot. So, yeah, I just think the amount of utility Tyrande brings is definitely going to be more beneficial on Dragonshire than it's not.
The ability for her to be able to interrupt dragons and things with the sentinels and such things is also really, really strong. So, yeah, we'll see where they go there. I mean... Turtle eSports have a very good disengage as well, especially if they can keep the Kael'thas back. Sonya and Johanna can get in there and brawl, but they're reasonably safe getting out as well. So it might be that they can just get a few good picks and then roll with those. So
Yeah, definitely could be the
I am noticing these guys all have the same icon.
The chat can't see that, in fact the stream can't see that, since we are still sticking on the draft. We have a bit of a lobby issue where one of the teams is just... they're not accepting friend requests, so we can't actually invite them to the lobby. Okay. So yeah, that's about all that's happening right now. Just a little bit of a delay, and we'll get this Dragonshire game starting ASAP. Now, I'm just still looking at the draft here. I think I'm going to stick with my my Gobble pick, but I don't know. Turtle eSports. I mean, we've seen Turtle eSports play. We've not seen Gobble Mike Hawk 123 yet.
Have we seen Turtle eSports play?
Yeah, they played last tournament.
Okay.
I don't know if we actually watched any of their games, but I know I've at least watched some of their stuff. If we never got to cast any of their games,
I'm not sure whether we've cast their games, so I'm not sure I've seen them play. But yeah, okay.
But knowing that Turtle eSports are a team who keep coming back to these, they have experience. Without knowing what Gobble Mike can do, I think just experience-wise, Turtle eSports, for me, potentially take this. Because of their scary damage output from Sonya Falstad and then towards into late game Kael'thas, they have that super, super high profile tank with the Johanna, and Karazim, a melee based healer, is always going to be up in the face of the enemy, you know, providing constant healing to the Sonya and the Johanna in. So yeah. We've had a trouble in a costume, is what I got.
Trouble in a costume?
So potentially they're players playing in fancy dress.
They all need to suit up before they're allowed to play.
Yeah. What do you reckon their theme is? Are they Power Rangers?
Secret agents. Proper suits, ties, briefcases, hair tied back.
Very interesting costumes.
Sunglasses on.
I'm thinking more like
leather gloves.
Wearing the big like costumes. Like one of them.
They could be cosplay.
One of them's like a Pikachu, the other's like a Yoshi, just big Nintendo character. But the big foam costumes you get.
They could be cosplaying, and they could be cosplaying their team. Now they've drafted it, they need to get into the costumes.
They quickly got to change into costumes.
So Raina's currently putting on his big Eva foam armor.
I've just got images of the Kerrigan player put on some sort of like fake boobs and these big spiny ones, sat in a chair looking really uncomfortable, half naked in this like purple leotard.
And the wig as well. Tyrande is relatively easy, just slipping on a dress. Muradin, his beard covers half the costume, so it's pretty alright. Rhaegar's got to have a dead wolf on his head for the entire game, and after a few weeks, that's starting to get a bit smelly.
Okay, so start. Grow. Thanks, very hot. And now I'm gonna bring us into the tournament scene.
Way.
I'm actually going to quickly edit the misc text because it's not.
Oh, if they've got skins, they would have to cosplay the skins instead.
I mean, that'd be fine if you have the Rainer skin where he's in casual clothes and holding a bolter. Would you have to hold your keyboard like a bolter and
just?
I don't know if you ever played the Flash Guitar Hero game, but you'd pick up your keyboard and the buttons would be 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and then you'd hit the enter button to strum. It was amazing. You could pick it up and play it like that. Missed that.
I had played that. That's pretty good.
But any course, getting into Heroes of the Storm now. As you can see, we're just in the lobby, and Gobble Mike Hawk. Their team name is
Gobble Mike Hawk.
It's off my side, so I'm going to actually have to change what their team name is for me.
GMH.
Oh, that might be easy. I was just going to do Gobble Mike MH dot. Yeah, I'm going to do H dot. Seems easier for me. Update. Done. There we go, guys. So we're getting into this as soon as possible.
We'll get a game going.
Yeah.
And we'll get casting. And we'll have some winners. So, as usual, it's a €25 prize pot to the winner. Winner takes all. A few good teams in the mix. A few that we've not seen before. They could also be amazingly good teams. We have I Don't Know Man and Infinity Esports back for more. I think Infinity Esports our winners last week. Also, I believe they won their ESL Spain championship.
Yeah, well, the ESL, it's the Eternity Cup, which is played every week, I believe, for ESL, and they actually beat out. I think it was, who did they play in the finals?
I know they beat. I know they played Fire in the Hots again at some point.
Fire in the Hots was who they played in the semi-finals, and
that's
that's who they played in the finals. And Fire in the Hots were kind of a surprise get through in that ESL Cup to the finals, since they actually beat out Team Huron, who have been picked up by Team Alternate Fantasy recently.
Yeah,
so
that was
the new EU Team Alternate got beaten out by last week's semi-final finishers and finalists who got beaten out by Infinity eSports. So obviously a strong team, and I think we kind of favour them potentially this tournament to do pretty well.
Definitely good to see the guys who we've been casting week on week go out and play with the big boys and throw down there. So if you're watching and you're not playing,
they say that a lot of the big teams they don't tend to want to scrim them because they don't take them seriously, but winning the Eternity Cup and coming they finish first and second in it constantly, so hopefully that will get them a bit more recognition.
Yeah, it'd be pretty good for them, and we hopefully can see the skill within our eSports Wall tournament grow as well with these guys.
You mentioned how Team Turtle Esports had all the same portrait, and in fact Flom, the team captain, had the rainbow billy, and look at the themed as well. This is commitment to the cause. So I'm going to actually, in fact, introduce Turtle Esports. In the blue team on the left here, we're going to have Snow Holmes playing the awesome superhero skin Sonya, Katara on that master skin Falstad, Camp Phase on the master skin Johanna, Flom playing master skin Kael'thas, and Tooth de Pingu on that Goku Karazin.
And over on the other side for Gobble Mike Hawk 1, 2, 3, we have Glirios on Muradin, we have Diet on Tarande, we have Very Hot on Kerrigan. I'm going to get interrupted as Snowhawk gets killed out with nice Lunar Flare. Is he going to be first blood? Yes, he is.
Almost kept alive by the Karazin for a little bit longer, but then picked up, and yeah, good little first blood there. They've got the Tarande, the Kerrigan, and the Muradin, and they all party bushed it, so very little chance of anybody getting caught up there for some.
Everybody loves the party bush. Where was I? We
got to Muradin and Tarande and Kerrigan.
We got Very Hot on the Kerrigan, we have Stickler playing Reyna, and we have Izuna playing Rhaegar. So, now we've got some little action out on the go. They're going to settle down as the shrines deactivate. It looks like we've got 3 on the top, 3 on the bottom. So 3 versus 1 either side of the map. But
both teams kind of maybe expecting this game to go on a little bit longer as we get a season marching out for the rain action and the false stab respectively.
No season marksman for the Tarande though, instead opting for that Rangers mark.
Yeah, I mean, even with season marksman being an option there, even if you expect the game to go long, Rangers mark is just such a powerful ability. I would understand on this map in particular to take season marksman over it, because you don't have mercenary camps like bosses, where Rangers Mark is really, really good to take those bosses down very, very quickly. So if you have that, Rangers Mark, you can use it 2 or 3 times, and that will cut down the boss time by at least a quarter. And that can be very, very good if you obviously time all the abilities on the boss.
So Katara cheekily taking that shrine back, and Gobble Mike sending 4 members down bot to see him off and claim that back for themselves. Azuna not really getting a look in up top, so they are going to need to rotate up there if they do want to claim this dragon, but I think they just want to keep it 1 shrine apiece at the moment while they pull their level lead ahead slowly but surely. I think that's just from the first kill there.
Yeah, a small amount for the fact that the bottom team wave has been cleaned up. Oh, excuse me.
Cool.
Now, a tower, in fact, has been taken. In fact, 2 towers will have been taken out from the top lane for the side of the
Yeah, so
really good push going on up there.
But no real counter coming out to it, so interesting they would let that happen. Little fight there between Diet and Katara, both falling relatively low. Stickler coming in to try and finish the job, but not able to. So Katara is going to stick around on that Falstad.
Got very low there, able to just about survive. A little bit of a fight also happening in top lane, and Turtle able to hold on to their shrine, whilst Gobble Mike are keeping hold of the bottom shrine. Now what Katara's doing here is very clever. He's actually staying here to soak this lane entirely despite being on such low health, because they don't want to lose out on any experience. They've in fact gained a small experience lead as a result, and he's going to wait for one of his team members to be free, to rotate down, and allow him to Hearthstone back, or his well will come off cooldown very shortly, and he'll be able to use that.
So, pretty good there to keep that. Yeah, one thing we do like to see is those lanes getting soaked. Make sure you do that if you're in Hero League, because otherwise people will get irritated with you when you fall behind as a team. Yeah. And so we're going to have a nice little ball at the top. It looks like Sonya's falling low. Luna Flair's going to catch her. She's going to fall down there. So, nice pickup there.
Against the Sonya here, and Foster captures the bottom shrine, but the top shrine now going to be taken from that big 4-man rotation.
Yeah, so...
Rhaegar's gone with a bit of an interesting build, focusing a bit on the lightning shield.
Maybe to add a little bit more wave clear here, just as the only real wave clear coming from Kerrigan being able to ravage her way through a creep wave. Other than that, there isn't really much. Reynard can fire off his Q if he really wants to, but otherwise they're all going to have to auto their way through it, so maybe that's why they've gone for that option.
It may also just be for a... in fact, Johanna getting caught out mid lane there. Just
nice.
It could also be for the fact that it kind of makes the Earth Shield, as it was touted at level 7, into a cheaper heal, having reduced the mana cost at level 7.
Yeah. Especially if you can guarantee that damage is going to get soaked.
Yeah, with a team member like Kerrigan on your team, you know she's going to be a bit of a be able to do some work. Top lane though, we're going to have Karazim actually falling here. Kerrigan ravaging over that wall, plus the Durande doing a little bit of damage. And
I think I need to keep an eye on this Kerrigan roaming gank squad, because every time I'm not looking, they've found somebody to pick and they're taking them. And definitely going to be working in their favour there for Gobble Mike to get these picks. They've pulled that lead ahead even though they have lost those towers. And it looks like they will most likely win that race 2-10 unless something goes amiss. Nicely picking up the Kael'thas there with a beautiful Lunar Flare coming from Diet.
Yeah, meanwhile there's a bit of contention going for this bottom shrine. And Turtle eSports able to wrestle it back out of the hands of Gobble Mike. As Gobble Mike have now regained the experience advantage and almost a full level ahead, going to hit level 10 for a good 10-15 seconds before their opponents do.
Yeah.
So,
and they are locking those for it.
Engage if Gobble Mike want to force out this Dragon Knight. We do see all the typical ultimates heroic abilities taken, Hyperion being the only not unusual one, but one that we can potentially see different.
Yeah. And they are going to use that Hyperion round to push this bottom. That Yamato cannon is going to go to work on the structures there. And no one really going to be able to come and help defend that. They are just going to have to lose this at the bottom fort.
But meanwhile, there is a camp push going on in the top lane by the Karazim and the Kael'thas. They might not be able to get this entire board if... actually, no, it looks like they're going to.
No, they'll probably get that before the rotations.
Not a huge amount of damage coming out, but trading forts 1-for-1 here. Can be pretty good for. I still think that's in favour of Team Gobble Mike, because they do end up picking the siege camp here, and they're just kind of potentially rotate into mid lane or try and get a kill if they can't.
Yeah, so rotating around as a large group now. Neither team really going for that Dragon Knight, instead wanting to fight. Karazim picked up there from the hammer. He will go to Avatar Fallen Dwarf, toss himself in. A Divine Palm, however, is on the Karazim. Kael'thas, however, going to be the option they choose to go for instead. Nice toss there down that the Divine Palm's gone from the Karazim, and nice impale, pulls him back and picks him up.
Very good play there by Gobble Mike. They're just getting these pickups, and even when you're behind your wall, the Kerrigan Drama Graph can come out, as can the Tyrande Lunar Flares, and just does so much. Now with the Rhaegar having actually gone up to top lane to recapture that shrine to the side. of Gobble Mike, they're going to get the first Dragon Knight, and it's a decent time one, actually, 8 minutes. It's going to do quite a lot of work here, and you can see it just chunking through those buildings. Nom.
Yeah, they are using that, taking that to the top lane where there was no one, so forcing rotation. Hyperion's also come off, so that's going to drop down. Phoenix being used on the defense there, so nice just trying to zone them out, but the Dragon's not really afraid of fire. He's just going to walk up and smash down that gate. So Karazim going...
He's going to be soaking all of the fall damage, but they do end up going to pick up on the Karazim really quickly by another great Primal Grasp into Impaling Blades out from the Kerrigan, followed up by the Tyrande leader. We just see this combo coming out. It's an old one, but it's consistent.
Shadowstalk being able to send everybody invisible there so they can get another engage. The Dragon's just going to shoulder barge the Johanna away, not wanting to deal with that. They just want to take this fort and probably back out at this point. They've got everything they wanted to come for.
Yeah,
Phoenix thrown down.
Ended up picking up the Falstad there as well. The Kerrigan jumping in and actually just landing the full combo off, and the Impaling Blades, despite the Falstad being on about 30% health, just killed him. He was actually reasonably high, and I wasn't sure whether or not he would die, but very hot, knows his Countess Kerrigan well enough to do that and feel confident that he was going to get the kill, and he ended up doing so. Very well played.
Kerrigan's something I was trying out for myself earlier today, and wish I could land combos like that, that's all I'm going to say.
The trick is to play against people who don't walk sideways. If Kerrigan is coming at you, just immediately change to walk parallel to where she is, and she'll put a combo and it'll miss.
That's an old MOBA trick, that is. When always walk sideways, don't walk in a straight line, because the skill shots go in straight lines.
It's pro tips from Stefan. I need a little jingle, and I'll just press a button and it'll come up, and we'll all be very entertained.
So all in favour of Gobble Mike right now. They are just over a level in ahead there. They picked up the Siege Giants. They're going to push on the bottom lane, and they're also going to pick up the Bruiser Camp.
Yeah, level and a half.
Oh, a Shadowstalk here to engage Countess Kerrigan, diving in, picking up the Divine Palm going up, saving. Yeah, Divine Palm saving the Lasagna. The Hyperion's going to come out now, and that's going to be able to put a lot of damage down onto the team. Big ancestral healing. They're saving the Kerrigan, making sure she is alive. And yeah, pretty scrappy fight, and working out quite well. But it's not over yet. Dwarf Toss going on. Going to pull people in. They're going to pick up a Falstad there.
Chain Bomb actually coming out from the Kathas there, doing a lot of damage to Falstad. So the Muradin turned out quite low. Both yeah. Now, a little bit more of an engagement potentially, but if they disengage, will give us time to talk. Something I'd like to note about that ancestral healing though, is Kerrigan was only on about half health. And they use the ancestral healing on her despite the Muradin being on lower. Now, some people could construe that as a misclick. I actually think that was incredibly smart play. And the reason for that is the fact that Kerrigan had just ravaged herself in, popped her Maelstrom, and she was right up, like, humping the wall.
Yeah.
This means she's going to be taken there. If the enemies decide to turn around and start focusing damage onto anybody, they're going to focus her. They focus her, she'll die since she's only on about half health. But putting that Ancestral on means that the enemies either, if they turn around, it's going to be wasted damage, and if they... Oh, in fact, Rhaegar lost on mid-dot.
Ooh, Gravity Lapse on the Rhaegar there. He's just going to go Ghost Walk and walk away though.
Yeah,
so
very
no one
not chaining that, not putting that living bomb onto his building. So good play there again by that master Rhaegar player Zuna. But yeah, putting that Ancestral on Kerrigan while she's about half health.
Oh, we're going to have another fight as they do Shadowstalk up, and the Dwarf does topple himself in. Divine Palm's going to keep the Kael'thas alive so he can put some more damage down, but he is going to get picked up there. The Muradin avatar is just doing work as they chase on here, and Reyna, nice. That's there, going to be able to put some more damage down on that Johanna, but I don't think any more kills are going to come out of this. They're going to back up and see if they can get themselves a Dragon Knight, maybe?
Yeah, and they almost certainly will get themselves a second Dragon Knight here with this. I might eventually be able to finish my thought here. That's going to come out. We are potentially going to see a defence for this fort. I think that it would be a mistake for eSports to try and defend this, and they should just back off and save it. Potentially provide some damage. But yeah, putting it on the Kerrigan means that if the enemies turn around and go on her, it's wasted damage because she will get healed.
There you go. You can have a break to talk while they have a little pause.
If they don't, were going to go on her, it means that they see the Ancestral coming down. So like, all right, we can't go on her. We have to keep running away, and that just provides so much space for Gobble Mike. But for the fact that either damage is going to be wasted and the Kerrigan's going to do so much work, or the enemy are just going to keep running away, allowing them to do what they want. And
they're going to put
that
damage
makes it
down
such
while
a
they're running
smart choice
as well.
to put it on her at that point.
Yeah, they're going to put damage down while they're running away as well, because they were pushing on that gate at that point. So yeah, very good choice to drop the ancestral healing onto the Kerrigan.
That's one of the annoyances of casting heroes compared to other MOBAs. It's such an action-packed, frantic game that we barely get a chance to talk about why things were good decisions when I'm going to be analysing replays in the future.
And it looks so you might get a chance to see that in action again as the Kerrigan is going to jump on that wall. Hyperion's going to do the work to push that gate down. Along with the Dragon Knight, they're going to push on for this keep most likely, just positioning, trying to find a good in.
And note how the Muradin is inside that Dragon Knight. It's really good for tank and air, so you can escape after the Dragon Knight dies or times out. And Sonya's going to get quite easily there.
Yeah, so that Muradin now is right in the thick of things as he pops out of the Dragon Knight, Dwarf tossing himself over, putting a lot of damage down on Kale, so him and Karazim are going to have to back off to heal up at the hall. And the keep is going to fall for them in the mid lane.
Yeah, we might
Does that they're going to push on to the core?
They need to go for the core, and I'm not too sure how much this decision is smart, but with the Kale first gets caught out.
And the Karazim followed up shortly. The avatar off the Muradin was still up, so they can put that damage down there. So yeah.
Sonya's coming alive, but I don't think this is going to be enough to save the core. And I believe that is a GG for game 1 between
Turtle eSports and Gobble Mike. A victory to Gobble Mike.
Coming through here. Like I said, seen Turtle eSports in this tournament before, so they have a bit of experience. But Gobble Mike, with the slightly favoured composition from both of us, doing really, really well in this tournament so far with that first victory.